Hello, my audience. I'm reviewing a movie called Judge Dredd from 1995 flick starring Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. That was bugging me. So, the 1995 flick Judge Dredd movie I'm reviewing, I give it a 10 out of 10 as my final score. Verdict. Rating I give. Personally, I don't know why this movie gets hated on. The backlash it got after all these years. A lot of people hate on this movie because Rob Schneider's in this movie. And Sylvester Stallone takes off the Judge Dredd mantle off and plays it like a generic Stallone right here. But that doesn't happen until the halfway point once he's been put up for framed for murder. Then he gets the mantle taken away from him, the judge mantle. So he gets depromoted and outcast. And that doesn't happen until the halfway point of the movie. How come nobody's talking about the first half of the movie that was so good? Which I think the first half was a lot better than the second half, okay? Not that it completely went downhill after the second half. It just wasn't as good as the first half. Because, I don't know why, I just like Judge Dredd being... it kind of bothered me emotionally that, I guess that's the idea of the movie, that it kind of bothered me emotionally, that Judge Dredd gets put up gets framed for murder, and he gets taken away his mantle, his identity of Judge Dredd, so he can no longer be, he's not a judge anymore, he just gets outcast and gets in the same place where Snyder ends up in. And, Snyder tags along to help Judge Dredd clear his name, and Snyder's just, like, once he's, like, in the movie, the second half, Rob Schneider is in the movie. Okay, he does play a element in the movie, but he's not, like, the most important character. He's just one of the more important characters that interact with Judge Dredd after he gets framed for murder and gets outcast by all of the other judges. And then he finds out one of the judges actually betrayed him, and he was, yeah, so he gets, he actually gets, even after he breaks out of this hellhole, that's kind of like a land of that's the nightmarish version of hell on earth. Like a land where a bunch of prisoners are run wild with, they can just kill each other and torture each other to death, or kill each other and backstab each other. So it's kind of like where the it's a really cool like how it's like, I mean, I'm one who hasn't know that Judge Dredd's a comic book character, but hasn't looked at any of the comics at all. But I'm aware he's a comic book character, and I'm aware, like, it's tradition for him not to remove his helmet. I'm aware that's one of the mythologies that's been built up for himself. So the fact that he got him a... So, I mean, the fact that this movie went to that route, that the movie framed him for murder, and by another judge... another judge framed him for murder, and so he gets the mantle taken away from him. But he does clear his name in the end. So and he gets to be the judge again. And I mean, he wears the helmet majority of the movie. The Judge the judge helmet that he's known for in the movie, in the comics. He wears majority of it in the movie before he gets depromoted and fired from his job, basically, temporarily, before he clears his name. And puts order right in the city called, what's the city called he's part of? And, what's city? Fuck. I think it's called Metroid City or something city. Oh, fuck. Yeah. So I actually like this, what they did with this version of, I like this portrayal on Judge Dredd. I like how Stallone doesn't play like a typical Stallone movie. He plays it more like a Judge Dredd character, more like a real rough around the edges and harsh on criminals, and sees the world black and white. And has a bit of a temper issue with criminals and trying to get answers out of them and stuff. And just, he's not impatient with criminals, and so he's got a bit of an anger issue. I can sense that in this Judge Dredd. And I don't think there's a lot difference between this Judge Dredd and the Judge Dredd performance from the 2012 movie. Outside of the fact that he just doesn't get his helmet removed. You know, portrayal. You know, brought to life from 2012 Judge Dredd movie titled Dredd versus the 1995 Judge Dredd movie titled Judge Dredd. You know, I'm not really sure which one I like, but Judge Dredd movie, Big Budget Judge Dredd movie I like more. The one from 2012 or the one from 1995. I gotta admit, it kind of bothered me how the 1995 one, no, I was going to say the 2012 one. It kind of bothered me a little bit of the, I thought it was a little strange, but I guess that was, I thought it was a little, it bothered me a little how the main focus was the Rookie instead of Dredd in the movie of the 2012 one. Dredd gets be the second main character compared to the Rookie. I thought that was a little strange, because saying the movie was called Dredd. Now, I was kind of hoping they would make Judge Dredd the main character again, like they did in the Stallone movie, where he's the main center of attention of the character. But, so that kind of bugged me about the 2012 reboot. That failed to make a sequel. And this one failed to make a sequel. But wouldn't it be cool if we could get a sequel to both Judge Dredd movies? Like a multiverse sequel to both movies, where Judge Dredd teams up with his older counterpart, Stallone version? That would be cool. And that could be like the third and final installment to the Dredd series, connecting the first two Dredd movies together. Heck, it would have been cool if we got a sequel to Stallone's Judge Dredd. Straight up sequel from his era of Judge Dredd counterpart. And it was straight up sequel to Judge Dredd from 2012. Judge Dredd. Title Dredd. I forget who plays the guy. He plays Butcher from the Boys series. I forget what the actor's name is. I think his name has a K in it. His first name. And I think his last name has a B or something. I forget what his name is. But he was good as Judge Dredd. So was Stallone. They were both as good as Judge Dredd, I thought. Both of them nailed the performance of capturing this, like, very intimidating figure. That's an authority figure of the law. And, you know, it's kind of like plays like a Batman persona. Like, you know, sort of like Keaton's Batman. Something like scary. To really make you shit your pants scary, which is the performance. Especially how he says, I am the law. I like how both say it in the original one and in the remake. They both say it and make it sound badass. And I love how Stallone, like, after he says, I am the law, he then, like, tries shooting at Stallone's Judge Dredd. And then he says, I knew they'd do that. Delivers that line knowing that they would fire at Judge Dredd and miss. After he asks the criminals to surrender and put down their weapons. And he delivers the iconic line, I am the law. And the criminals do not surrender easily. And he's not even all fazed by it. Pretty cool of a character, I thought this Judge Dredd was. The Stallone one. And the 2012 one's pretty cool also. In fact, like, you know, in a way, like, because, I mean, like, they both feel like very identical portrayals of Judge Dredd. The 2012 one and the 1995 one. Like, I love how both movies take the source material very seriously with the R-rated edge, but knows how to, like, stretch the imagination and show the audience something different. Like, tell a different story with the source material. Like in this one, the movie has Dredd's, the movie is like, kind of first frozen into the mythology of a world of Judge Dredd. Then introduce you to Dredd, after introducing you to Rob Schneider, who's supposed to be this point of view, victim, relatable guy, to see how scary Judge Dredd can be, and how awesome he can be as Judge Dredd, you know? So, and then he gets like you don't see him till later, until the, Rob Schneider again, until he leaves the film very early on, then comes back very later on. Like after the halfway point, you have to wait for him to come back in the character plays. And he's, you know, he doesn't play the character like his typical Rob Schneider role. He plays it fairly straight, but not so straight, you know, you would take him seriously like Judge Dredd. You're more like Shia LaBeouf, Sam Witwicky. He comes across from Transformers 1, not really the sequels. You know, before Shia LaBeouf became too obnoxious to bear with the Transformers installment. And they kind of ran ideas to written Sam Witwicky as a well-rounded character. With the sequels, they kind of ran ideas, I feel like, to do with Sam and bring him back, you know? I feel like he had his story in the first one. He could have just told a different story with a different human character in the sequel. And in fact, that's why I think Revenge of the Fallen and, Age of Extinction Transformers 4 is the best Transformers sequel of the Michael Bay universe. I know that sounds like I'm getting sidetracked, but the point is, where was I going to go with this movie? I really like how this movie inspired the design for RoboCop design, the original RoboCop. And I really like how influential this Judge Dredd movie was, like how it inspired the design for the first RoboCop movie. Like how, you know how the RoboCop movie, the first RoboCop movie, the 80s flick, that movie was the first two ones. You might not notice, but if you check out the special features of RoboCop when they were making the movie, they wanted to take inspiration from Judge Dredd's design. And the character, the Stallone character that Stallone played in the movie. They want to take inspiration of, like, make us something like something different, but something similar to Judge Dredd's character design. You know, something that's like, can be a beast, but intimidating. And, so, Judge Dredd is a pretty good fucking movie. Is why I give it a 10 out of 10. It has one hell of action. The action is really top-notch action and R-rated fashion action, and it's really cool. The whole movie is like one hell of a ride, of a spectacle for me. I give this a 10 out of 10. Go see this movie. You won't recommend this. Go stream it or buy it. However you want to purchase it. Physical or streaming, that's more common for stream I hear. But if you want to get physical, you can get physical, I'm sure. But, so I like this movie that much to give it a 10 out of 10. Judge Dredd 1995 flick is why I give Stallone's Judge Dredd a 10 out of 10 movie. Goodbye. Subscribe to this video. Like my content, please. And like this video. And follow my other channels. I mean, videos. Check out my other videos. Sometime when you get the chance. And check out my other channels that I make videos on. Name the same name, Jake Allen Graham's name of the channels. And if you ever get a chance, yeah, I do 7 YouTube channels that I run and title my own name after them. Started with just 1, but then I launched 6 more this year. So, oh, it's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, my audience. And that's my review on Judge Dredd, the 1995 flick. I'm sorry if I went on too long to this video. I'm done with my review on talking about the movie. And I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, my audience. Good morning. It's not New Year's, but it's Christmas Day. So, in case if I don't make a Christmas if I don't make a video on, I don't know, around New Year's Eve or New Year's Day time, Happy New Year's. And, Merry Christmas, my audience. Or whatever holiday you celebrate. Good morning. Subscribe to my channel. Bye.